We are working out for the next 365 days in a row. So many of us struggle to make positive changes in their lives, and I tend to give up too. We can't stick to our goals. You see, we've done this challenge at least 10 times, reaching 200 plus days at least twice. I was hoping to get myself into breakdancing shape because I always wanted to breakdance. And failure was crushing. And sometimes when you fail a lot, you give up. And in my case, you give up on your dreams for good. I made excuses instead. But now, even if I give up, or I sleep in, or I stop, we're just going to start over again. We will become stronger. So what follows are my workouts and thoughts each day. Every day, we can decide to make good choices. So don't give up on yourself.
Welcome to Workout Every Day, day number 59, and today was a super awesome day. I'm going to go through my workout and each of the things we did. And today is handstands, but not just regular handstands, not just handstand wall holds. Today we're going to be doing handstand crawlouts. Now, I have thought about this for quite some time. I feel like the handstand hold is a great exercise to build tolerance, but I think you need maybe 2 to 3 other kind of supplementary handstand movements to get you even better at the movement. And I definitely think that this is one of them. And I want to talk about how I'm doing it, what my setup is, and some precautions around my movement here. So first things first, basics of the handstand. I'm trying to make sure that I'm pressing through my hands as far as I can into the ground, as hard as I can, just to keep that shoulder stability. I try and keep my core braced, and I extend my legs up and try and keep those glutes squeezed, obviously. Now, during this handstand crawl, I want to avoid what I think is probably a big mistake, which is crawling all the way up with my legs, okay? And I'll tell you when I think that's a good idea and when it's not. Well, first of all, I think you should be trying to use your hands to push your body up and crawl it down for the most bang for your buck you can get out of this movement. So if you're doing this, I highly recommend doing that. How many times was I able to do? I think maybe 3 to 5 times is my max, and then I just get tired, which is fine, right? But I want to keep controlled. I don't want to throw myself up and down the wall. Just take small steps with my hands forward and back. Now, when I get too tired, I figure this is when I can start using a lot more leg assistance, kicking my legs up more, and then crawling my way down if possible. But, I'm saying a lot. This movement is hard. It's hard to really have that much control and go up and down and do this over and over again. But that would be the idea if I wanted to maximize on this movement, although, I'm still pretty new to it. And during this session, I was thinking to myself, crawling up and down is great, but what if I did side to side? What if I wanted to build even more stability, guys, and even more control? What would I do? So I said, let me try and shimmy across this wall and see what happens. And well, what happened was I didn't really have a lot of stability, a lot of strength, brand new movement, but it's definitely not going to be going away. And the way I set it up is I set it up about 5 sets, so 3 crawling down, 2 going side to side. What I might do next time is 3 crawling down, 3 side to side, or some kind of split between them, because I feel like they're both equally as important. I'm pretty sure there's so many ways to train the handstand. Also, stupid question, do handstand gloves exist? Because the ones I was using tore, which kinda sucks. Another way we are training the handstand is by doing something called reverse hypers. You've heard me talk about these. Essentially, if you have a back extension machine at your gym, you can do this. You can just crawl all the way to the bottom of it and stick your legs up. What I'm doing is I'm squeezing my glutes and I'm opening up my legs wide just like this, because we don't really get to use our glutes in this extended position a lot of the time. A lot of us train deadlift, a lot of us train squat. We don't necessarily train extending our legs behind us, right? I mean, of course, people do glute kickback and stuff like that, but I know a lot of people who just have the same rotation of exercises where they don't really get to train their muscle in a variety of ranges of motion. From this angle here, you can better see what I'm actually doing. I'm sticking those legs up, I'm squeezing those glutes, and I'm using my hands as a way to balance. Now, you have the option of just using your hands for balance, or you can take this into more of an actual handstand. You see there, I kick my leg up really, really high, and I actually let that body weight transfer onto my wrist, and I carried it after finishing doing the reverse hyper there, okay? So you have that option, and not only do you have this, but you have some really, really other cool options, even some explosive movements, which I'm about to show you right here, which you can do from the safety of a couch, or a couch like this. So just by putting a little bit more pressure into my hands, I get them a lot more involved during this movement, and then I can kind of press up a little bit. The more and more that I put my weight onto my wrists and hands, the more and more I'll be able to push myself straight up. And it's kind of just a neat little exercise, teeter-tottering back and forward. And yeah, these are your options here. Just doing the regular reverse hypers are already enough to help with the handstand, keeping the glutes extended and controlled in that position. So I think that's a great exercise just in general, even if you don't do handstands. Now, I know it's a good workout when I'm about to hit a PR. I had no idea how much stronger my wrists have gotten. So keep in mind, guys, I'm making this transition to calisthenics. I'm doing more and more calisthenics, doing more and more wrist conditioning. And would you guess that it paid off with a total of 14 push-ups on the back of my hands? This is huge, okay? Overall goal, I think hitting around 30 to 40 is probably good enough for me. So we're making some progress, okay? Getting to 50 sounds crazy to me. Like I had the thought in my head just now. But you know what? Let me just put that out there. Let me put that good energy out there. 50 on the back of the hands. What if my wrists were that conditioned, you know? Anyway. Today we also have a brand new movement. Now, because I've been investigating calisthenics and learning all the different jargon and words they use, a new word that I haven't really heard of was called compression strength.
My abs are
So there's a
cramping.
certain compression between your abdomen, so your hip flexors and your rectus abdominis. When those muscles contract together, I think that's called compression strength. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But it's essentially folding your body up. And what I noticed is I actually was already tired of trying to do this exercise before I even started it. Why is that? What happened? What is this exercise? Well, let's get into it. Okay? Compression strength, like I said, rectus abdominis, so folding that body like you're doing a sit-up or, any kind of exercise, jackknife, whatever, and, you're thinking about doing leg raises or some type of movement that brings the hips towards the abs, okay? Now, when I was doing the handstand and I was bracing, I was actually training those muscles, and they were already pre-fatigued, guys. I had ab pain and I had stitches. I had no idea why I was in pain. This last exercise here's main focus was b-boy transitions. So, your things like your windmill, things like your flare, getting used to moving your legs in space. So I had a few drills that I did. It's not perfect. I don't have a lot of room. So I just had to funk around and find some interesting positions to move my legs through. Is this a legitimate b-boy transition? No, I don't believe so. But I do believe that the fundamentals of getting up onto my back, moving my legs through space, keeping my core engaged throughout a movement is very effective and translatable to the movements that I will have to do eventually. And yeah, that's about it. I just make sure that with each core exercise that I do, that I make sure to keep my abs braced, okay? I'm focused on breathing, focused on bracing. I think that there's a lot of core movements that you can do that will feel a lot easier if you're not keeping tight and keeping yourself in the right position. I know it sounds weird to say, but even the slightest being out of alignment can change the way that a movement feels so much when it comes to core. That's what I've learned so far. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 60. Take care. Keep training, by the way. Don't stop. Bye-bye.